Welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts Final Mix playthrough. We're gonna take a little break from the story because it's getting a little out there with the dancing search ghosts, etc. We're gonna take a look at some of the optional features of the game. As I think I explained it earlier anyway. This isn't necessarily a long play of the Kingdom Hearts game. It's definitely not a speed run of the game. What I wanted to try and do is just show off as much of it as possible. You know, I'm not going to be going for, again, 100% exactly. As far as Kingdom Hearts 1 is concerned, anyway, I would say it's mainly going through most of the battles and, you know, basically omitting the synthesizing and the gummy missions, really, now that I think about it.
Yeah. So, were you planning on getting all the Dalmatians and all that?
Yes, recording the footage and everything, I kind of just found the Dalmatians along the way. I didn't have to go out of my way searching for them, which I thought was really strange.
You probably just have a good memory of them.
Well, not even that. It's just the places they're hidden. You're just kind of on the way anyway.
What do the scoreboards say?
I don't know. What language is that?
Greek.
Are you certain?
No.
Like, I would imagine it's Greek.
0.
Oh man, reference to the music, or the song rather. I like the Hercules movie.
You do?
Movie. The movie. The movie music.
You could, yeah. Oh yeah, but we're talking about the whole taking out the torches with Blizzard, but doing it with Blizzara, the second level is smart because you get 2 different rewards for tearing out or for blowing out the torches. Is that you get one with the higher spell, one with the medium spell, which is weird. I don't know why.
Do you really?
Yeah, like you got the Holy G, but you get a different one if you do it with the level 3, and obviously you cannot revert your spells. I didn't say obviously, but in this game, no, you cannot revert spells.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea.
I mean, it may have been changed, maybe in Final Mix, but I know that I've at least heard that in one version of the game, that's how it works. And there you go, the weakness to the healings.
Yes, really the weakness to anything that floats, the gravity spell. This is technically the, chronologically anyway, the first place you can earn it. If you beat I believe it's the Phil Cup. What we're competing in now, you get the gravity spell if you beat all 10 tiers. Now, some people like the cups. Some people don't really like them because it's just kind of button mashing and killing enemies, which is kind of the whole game. But, you know, just for the sake of having, you know, the best of both worlds, I severely edited down all the cups I compete in. Just really, I show off some of my favorite matches, and really just the ones I thought were the most notable for the Phil Cup.
Yeah.
Now, what did you think about the individual guard armor pieces being contenders?
I thought it was interesting.
Like, is Phil some kind of, you know, idiot?
Yeah, well, he's all like some weirdo signed up. So, like, a Heartless just came up to him and signed up for the games.
I don't know how these guys sign up. They don't even have hands. Which I actually didn't notice, but the torso kind of resembles these.
Oh, yeah. They got little feetsies, though.
They do have little feetsies. Well, they do. I never noticed that.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
It's like little bird feet.
Yeah.
It's weird. But yeah,
that's the Phil Cup.
That was like a third, half of the Phil Cup, something like that.
Yeah, and going back to the cups, I like them, personally. I wouldn't really say they deliver... Perhaps they don't deliver the challenge that they were anticipating of delivering. In some cases, at least. But I think they're cool. It also, as you'll probably see in the next cup, if he decides to do it, you'll see how it kind of lets you fight some people you wouldn't be normally fighting.
Yeah,
Which I think is that's just the potential of what they could have done.
definitely. I think it's a good reward. Like it's an interesting way to get some extra experience here and there. But yeah, you get to fight enemies you wouldn't encounter. And the cups do have this tendency to drastically change the atmosphere depending on which one you change.
Yeah, the
depending on which
Pegasus
one you
Cup
select.
turns into nighttime, which I don't know why. Or what do you like better, nighttime Olympus or?
Well, I kind of like this. It's a bit more epic.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Not much of an audience though, so I'm not sure why Sora was all excited that he won. Other than just, you know, he got a cool little nifty little trophy, which was nice.
We're the champs.
It doesn't. He gets a trophy technically for everything, but
He gets a plaque for beating this.
oh yeah, but you don't show him holding it. He just puts his keyblade up.
Oh
We're
yeah,
the champs. I just like that line.
yeah.
It's funny.
And he does. It's never redone. He just says it the
Yeah.
one time, and then it's reused all the other times you win the cup. Oh man.
And this is a good grinding point if you really need to, is fighting these guys, as they give a decent chunk and are fairly easy to kill.
Mm-hmm.
And what also makes the cups cool is that you do it as a party, then you unlock the ability to do it just as Sora,
Yeah.
which if you do it immediately after can pose a good challenge, which is contrary to what I said earlier, but whatever. And then you could do a time limit, which actually is very hard if you are anywhere. Even if you are probably appropriately leveled, they can be very hard.
Yeah, because they barely give you any
Yeah.
time.
They give you about like 3 minutes, I think, for the average cup. And it's just when you got enemies like this.
I swear the filled cup gave me like a minute and a half. I'm
I
not
wouldn't be
even
surprised.
joking. That's how I remember it.
That could be how it is. They definitely don't put that much leeway for the time.
No,
But
they
that's good.
don't. The rewards, I would say, are definitely worth it, especially in the final cup. If you win the final cup as just Sora, you earn Goofy's special final weapon.
Maybe you get either Donald or Goofy's, and then if you do the time trial,
Yeah,
you get either Donald or Goofy, which is
it's not like it's at random. I just literally can't remember.
yeah,
which is which.
neither can I. Don't.
But
It is a cool. Again, you don't unlock the last cup until late game, so it is. I'd say a better alternative to Synthesis to hide the secret weapons or power weapons. So it's a neat little thing.
Yeah, well, you say that, but those I'm fairly certain those are new weapons for Donald and Goofy.
What do you mean?
Well, like the weapons you get from the cup aren't the same as the ones you can synthesize for them.
No, that's what I was saying. You synthesize the ultimate weapon for Sora, and you get good weapons for Donald and Goofy. These are technically considered the ultimate weapons for them.
But again, by the time you get them, it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter how good they are.
Yeah. Plus, you probably already have done this by that point, so.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, this is now you get to fight Leon again. He wasn't just a one-time thing.
Teamed up with Yuffie.
And this fight, much like mini games, that a lot of games, just fighting two enemies at once makes this fight really hard.
Yeah, you want to target Yuffie a lot.
Yes, because her long-ranged.
Yeah.
She has good aim somehow.
Enemies with ranged attacks are just annoying in general, so take her out as soon as possible.
Yes, and plus she just has hit stun like through the roof. So
Yeah, and very frustrating dialogue. Is that
This
supposed
one.
to hurt?
oh my god, I hate that. This
And then she's like at half health, and she's like, just
let's talk this.
let's talk this out. Yeah, I love that. But yeah, the proper rematch with Leon. I wish this was canonical.
Could be.
I doubt it. As I said, these are
No.
optional.
Technically, yeah, it is. In Kingdom Hearts 2, you see the plaque, and it's all like, this is for the Pegasus Cup, for which you
Oh
fought
yes, that's right.
valiantly.
So Yeah, so technically
technically-
you do.
Final Fantasy VIII protagonist is worse than a little boy.
Take that, you fanboys and girls.
He's quite stealthy.
What do you think of his crazy,
His lightning sword, or
Yeah,
like his energy blade. Again, it's one of those things where I guess it probably originates from his game. I think it's cool because I think it not only like you think it's like a range and power thing, but it's not. The biggest thing I think he gets is his deflection abilities at this point.
oh yeah, you cannot block this thing.
No, yeah. He just goes through, and that's kind of, it's never brought up in stats, but that is another element of how your Keyblades sort of pan out with other enemies, is their deflecting ability.
Mm-hmm.
Which I believe we probably brought up in a different situation, but as you know, some attacks make Sora fly back, sometimes he'll make them fly back. That really depends on your Keyblade's stability, I suppose. Like I said, there's no real stat number, but it does
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah, and I think really it's only pointed out again in the guide that the Olympia themed Keyblade has just the best stat of being able to parry enemy attacks, or I'm not sure what the proper word for it is.
Yeah, they say. Some Keyblades will say difficult to deflect, and what I think is cool is that the Keyblades that generally do are big Keyblades.
Yeah.
Like the one you do get from this world is, it's just like it's big, and it makes sense. Well, that is true. As Crab Claw is kind of thin, a lot of the Keyblades are. But
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really not sure what happened with the capture. It just, I don't know if it was overheating at this point, but there are a couple of graphical things, and I will try to work around. If you can't see them, good. If you can, I apologize. Really.
Whoa, what the heck?
Yeah,
that looks so cinematic. Right, that, I don't know, for some reason that shot looked really...
Yeah, I did try to. For these extra parts, I'm definitely going to edit them down a bit just to speed things along. This is the first of the bonus Heartless we'll be encountering that were added to Final Mix.
Yeah, they have...
Ding!
It's just one of those shell games.
It's basically the ball in the cup.
Yeah, and it's...
They shuffle the cups, you try to find the ball.
This, however, is actually pretty hard.
Yeah, it'll get faster and faster each time. I actually recommend using first-person mode.
Yeah, first person, and make sure you just stand back.
Yeah.
Because if you're not back enough, you cannot see where they go.
And make sure Donald and Goofy aren't blocking your line of sight, because that can get a little frustrating.
Oh, do you get it?
Yes,
Nice.
I do. The thing about these special Heartless is that they give out stone material. Stones are also a little inconsistent in the series. They're the level 2 version of the materials in Kingdom Hearts 2. There are shards, then stones, then gems, then crystals. This game doesn't really work around that. The stones are just unique in that you can only get them by beating whatever gimmicky Heartless shows up.
Yes, and they also do not have any precedent name having to do with anything else.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, there's no lucid stone. The closest thing is like a gale stone, but I don't even know if there is something like a wind.
It's really just called the Gale, too.
Oh yeah, it is just called gale. Or stormy stone.
Now, I kind of, I came here with the intention of fighting the bonus Heartless for this world, but it doesn't actually appear yet.
It does not?
No, you have to move a little further on, possibly beating the, Well, earlier in Olympia, you were talking about how finding the black fungi was a good level grind. It is for this section of the game. There is a point where the experience Heartless gives off is ginormous compared to what they're giving now. Black fungi's experience doesn't
not change.
increase. It doesn't change whatsoever, even if you pass that point. An example, Shadows, which give you like 2 or 3 experience, give you 30 each after you reach that point. I believe it's 30 anyway.
So yeah.
But with that intention, failed, I decided to show off a little bit of how absolutely crazy this world is.
Yes, this is a very...
Once you get all your maneuvering abilities, definitely come back here, because I won't guarantee you'll find useful stuff, but you'll find stuff in this world.
Yeah. I would say it's useful. You definitely find
A weapon.
you do find, well, that's not really useful. Anyway, what you can end up finding is possibly a power up here and there. And really, I just think it's really fun to find all the little secrets in Wonderland.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's kind of... Yeah, I would say that's why I like to explore. So you're not really for the items, but more for just kind of seeing how far this world goes. And considering the stuff you only get to see, or you kind of like have to see when you first go through, who says that?
The tree.
The tree, that's creepy.
It is a talking tree. That's the gist of it.
But... yes, it's a cool world, I will say. I kind of like it. Probably one of my favorites. If it wasn't just so devoid of, like, any real story.
Yeah. Well, my problem with it is the guy we had to fight at the end of it, but, that's just a personal opinion. I really don't like the Trickmaster, especially not the cotton candy version. Anyway.
He's a clown.
These, those weird, they're little, like, flowered lights, those are activated by the Thunder Spell, which...
I don't know how you're supposed to figure that out, but it just looks like it fits.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like they might have actually appeared, because I actually did watch the movie Alice in Wonderland somewhat recently, and I feel like I might have seen those, like, weird lantern flower things. But the weird thing about Wonderland is that there's a lot of backtracking in that once you get to a certain point in the game, you can come back here, open more secrets. Get to a much later section of the game, there are even more secrets that you now have the ability to open up.
Yeah. Especially, and the biggest thing is finding different areas to get to the Bazaar Room.
Yeah.
Which is, as you can see, you're just on the different sides.
Yeah.
You're right.
I love the Bazaar Room for that very reason. It's very unique. It's not like... I don't think the movie had the Bazaar Room, like, changing gravity or anything like that. It was just such a cool idea to have different sections.
Yeah. Plus, it feels different. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that they bring up you're lighting the lamps, honestly, when you're in that area lighting the lamps before you fight the Trickmaster, it doesn't... I don't even counter it as the roof. It just feels like a different area that just looks weird.
Yeah.
And I think that it makes this area just cool.
Yeah, I was saying...
What did he ask for?
An elixir.
Oh my god, jeez.
Yeah, he's
tough prices.
He's a greedy little bastard. But you get a mithril shard out of the deal, so that's good. Yeah, I said before that, you don't really have to go out of your way to find the Dalmatians. That's not really true for the ones you gotta find in Wonderland.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of exploring for this one. I just, there's a lot to explore. I'm pretty sure maybe not every wall, but a lot of the walls will have their own area.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's also kind of interesting how if you enter different like exits and entrances from like that angle, it takes you to different places.
Like we entered the Bazaar Room through the Bazaar Room.
And now we're
crazy. And now we're like on the chimney. It's crazy.
And I like how that kind of creates a different platforming.
Yeah, yeah.
Just by the shape. Which is cool. And I'd say this is, as much as Wonderland's kind of... I just think they didn't... It's just weird overall. I think this was very well done.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not it coincides with the movie or not.
Yeah, well, whether or not it coincides with the movie, I think that it really doesn't matter at this point because it's kind of making it its own unique world. Just kind of like, just taking elements from Wonderland and just using it a lot to make these crazy platforming sections, these weird doors that lead to one place or another.
What the heck?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. Like, that was an area you kind of, like, it's always in black, even if you're at the actual ground. But if you fall through it, it's an area.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I just kind of like that whole idea. That's how it works. But somehow you end up back here.
Yep. Now, something I do want to point out is that I did edit down these parts, again, just to kind of save time from going room to room. So I wanted to get that out there, so anyone watching and kind of taking directions through this part don't get confused, because there are some bits where I go in one room and end up in another when it really isn't like that. I entered a room so it would fade out into black, and that's when I would cut the video and they would show up in another area. So it's not like I showed up where I shouldn't have, it's just I edited down the rooms in between, just to clarify.
That would suck. I'm sorry for any fans out there.
Yeah.
Any viewers who really needed to get through Wonderland.
It's like, oh, I found the place I need to get to. That's all I need to see from this video.
I hate it when that... Has you ever done that before? Like, looked up a video on how to find something and you think you get the answer.
Yeah.
And you don't, and you're like, oh, I need to watch the video.
Yeah.
Jeez, just wiping out Heartless left and right now. Although I guess we're in a very
Yeah, it's still
under-leveled environment for...
very much so. Oh my god.
I think that might just be on... I think that might just be the dazzle. I don't think it's going to show up in the actual footage. Hey, it's fine.
Well,
What can you do with the pot?
you can jump in and end up in Queen's Castle.
But I think you already did the point of that.
Yeah,
high
I
jump.
kind of cheated the system with high jump, yeah.
Which is sadly, I think, totally something this game misses. Is that they're even later on in the game when you're almost required to have some of the maneuvering abilities,
Mm-hmm.
they still make the puzzles as if you don't,
Yeah.
and it's just funny at some points, I think, because it I wouldn't say it ruins the puzzles, but it does not make them a puzzle.
That's basically what we were talking about. Oh, I found out what I needed to do.
Nothing of importance is written.
Yeah, pretty much.
That does not sound like his thinking, but
No.
nice find.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can miss in this world, and it's just, again, it's not, in the grand scheme of things, you really don't have to be doing any of this, but it's really, really cool to go back and explore. It's a wonderful world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I had that pun trapped. I couldn't find an opportunity to use it. I didn't want to use it because there wasn't an opportunity. Anyway, what I was going to point out...
Where were you going with that reference?
Hmm?
It's a Wonderful World.
We're in Wonderland, dumbass.
Oh. I was going all like the song, but that's not Disney. It's a small world. And I thought you were going with the weird The World Ends With You reference, maybe. I don't know. I was wondering where that was going.
Yeah, well...
But no, it was just we were in Wonderland. I feel stupid.